And that night, I'm helping throw the rose ceremony. And my job at Lightning in a Bottle this year was to be a rose priestess. And I was dressed like a pink rose. And I was just fluffing roses and sprinkling roses and rolling around in roses and putting roses on people and then smelling roses. And then that was literally my job.
Welcome to Follow Your Heartsong, where we reclaim pleasure, break taboos, and awaken to our deepest desires. I'm Rose Heartsong, bringing you raw, unapologetic conversations on sex, spirit, and self-liberation. Let's dive in.
Hello, Laguna Beach. It's Rose Heartsong here with Follow Your Heartsong every single Sunday at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We go from 9 to 10 and we're talking about sex, spirituality, and holistic health and all of the taboo. And we dive into some fun, juicy topics and have some incredible guests. And tonight, I feel like I have my little sister on the show. She's one of my dear friend's little sisters. So she's become my little sister and becoming my little sister. And her name, as of right now, is Phoenixx. And she is a DJ, an artist, a visionary, a creator, a creatrix, a bright light, a joy just to be around. And she believes so much in magic. Like, one of the things I know about you, Mia, is every time I'm around you, you're just so in the magic of what's possible in creation. Can you bring the mic a little bit closer to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so we're going to have some fun, juicy topics today. We're going to talk about sisterhood. Maybe dive into the witch wound a little bit, the importance of sisterhood, and talk a little bit about Mary Magdalene, because she's also been a huge support for the whole Magdalene project and Magdalene vision. And we might talk about some other fun, juicy things along the way. So welcome, Mia. I'm so grateful you have you here.
Aloha. Aloha, everyone. And mahalo nui loa, Rose. Thank you so much for having me as a guest on your show. And it truly is an honor. And you are a sister to me. Like, you have helped teach me sisterhood, not just through the way that you've shown up for me, but through the way that you are a beacon for all of us sisters and for the way that you've shown up for my sister. And I've witnessed your relationship for, I don't know, maybe like 12 years now.
We've known each other for 14.
14 years. Yeah, and I've been benefiting from the ripples of your relationship, because when you love her better and she loves you better, then she loves me better. And then I love my sisters better. So we've all just been reflecting each other and elevating our love for 14 years now together.
I know.
And you and I are hanging out tonight on this show, having a one-on-one conversation for really the first time. So this is a really iconic moment.
Yeah, it is the first time we've partied a lot together and played together. We're conscious partiers.
Yes.
We've explored together and had like fun group dynamics, but you and I have never sat down really and had a one-on-one. So I'm really excited. And so that's why I say you are a sister and becoming more of one.
Totally. And those moments when we have shared together, you and I may not be in the corner dropping in. However, we are holding deep ritual and deep prayer with 100 of the most powerful goddesses I've ever witnessed in my entire life. So, like, it's bonding. We've been bonding.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are listening and don't really understand what we're talking about, Mia's sister is Ruby Chase, an incredible DJ. And Mia and my dear sister Roxanne and Ruby and a big collective of us got together and did this incredible retreat. We did 2 retreats called Watchtower. And it was in honor of Mary Magdalene and to help bring the film into creation. And so on our Instagrams, we have a lot of the video content around that. So we did intentional ritual and spiritual development together in sisterhood. And Mia, you have been always you're such a light on the camera. Like, you're so good on camera. Yeah. So much of the videos and the photos we got that we've used as promo is just like your joy and your light. And I'm always like, we need to use that piece because Mia just shines.
Love to hear that. It's so fascinating. I've really been developing my own relationship with the lens. And it's actually gone a little bit metaphysical in that development. But I've always felt like I do really come to life when I'm performing. whether it be DJing or modeling or acting or singing or dancing. Like, I truly feel, I might have said dancing twice. I really like to dance. But I really, truly feel like I come to life in a new way that I feel fully alive. And actually, at Lightning in a Bottle, that first Her Story show that we did in 2019 all together, me, Roxy, and Ruby, we had this epic show actually telling the story of the Magdalene and sharing her story. And there was a moment in that show where Roxy and I are meditating on stage and Ruby's singing Hurricane, and it's epic. We have these fans and we have these silk and it's flying and it's heavenly, and me and Roxy are meditating with our hands on a giant crystal. And I had this moment where I'd been meditating a lot that chapter of my life, and I was very connected to the angelic realms. And I just remember shouting with pure bliss and joy and just blissing out to the angels. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm happy. I'm so happy. Are you so happy? Are you having so much fun? You have to be having fun. Obviously, you're having fun. Look how much fun I'm having. Look how much fun we're having. Like, talking to the angels. And I just remember telling the angels, I was like, angels, please do not ever let me forget this moment right here, right now. I feel so alive. This is what I want to do with my entire life. This is it. This is everything. Thank you, God. Please let me always remember this moment. And so I'm really grateful that other people enjoy when I do those things too.
Yeah,
That
no,
sounds like a win-win-win.
I think sometimes there's a little bit of an age gap between us. And I think that sometimes, like, in moments where I was younger and I had this magical portal and I was in it, and sometimes I keep saying that, but I have gotten a little jaded ish in the spiritual community, especially. And when you come in with your joy, it reminds me of who I was and it reactivates me.
Yeah.
And so I really appreciate that.
Totally.
And that's been the medicine you have been for me is, oh, I remember that. Let's go back into that because that feels better than the jaded
Totally.
frustration or resentment that might have built up because of experiences I've had.
Yeah. A word I just coined. I've been rewriting my play word. No more swear words, just play word. And one is a refresh. It's nice and refresh.
Yeah.
That sounds like a refresh to me.
It's a refresh.
It's nice to be around people where it feels refreshing, where they're positive and they're happy and they're stoked, and you're like, oh, wait, you're super stoked about whatever's happening right now. That's really refresh. So I'm happy to be refreshing in that way because I think it's all been divine. I was on my own very hermited path for many years, even though I'm such a social butterfly, and I was really on my solo journey. And it's perfect timing now that you all were able to infiltrate and integrate into these communities and prep the soil for so many years and do this deep work of developing as humans. And now we're at the moment where the soil is fertile and primed for my energy to now add into the mix and the medicine for us to all finally work together. We're at that next level where we're ready for it. And so the medicine is here. And I'm grateful that I get to be a part of that, the offering that gets to bring the medicine in with you guys.
Yeah. And the medicine is her story. And her story is remembering what was forgotten, intentionally forgotten, what was hidden.
Yes.
Specifically hidden.
Yes.
So if you think about history is his story.
Yep.
And if you look at what we've been told in his story, it's very based on men telling the story.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of mysteries and memories that were intentionally suppressed around 2,000 years ago, right before as the Piscean age started.
2,000 years ago. We're in 2025, so that was just 25 years after death of Jesus.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we'll go into that. So basically, I think that like Jesus and Mary Magdalene helping us remember the codes that were getting hidden from us. And we went into the Piscean age, and now we just came out of the Piscean age into the age of Aquarius. And a big transition and transmutation has been starting from that and is awakening. We've been, this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Like that was in the 60s.
Oh, cute. I like that.
And it was the beginning. It was the ripple effect.
I'll remix it.
You should please.
I should.
Oh my goddess,
Let's
please.
remake it. Let's do it.
Yes, I'll send it to you.
Studio sesh tomorrow. Come through. Let's go. Yeah.
So
That's
as we're being initiated into this new her story, because her story is being remembered right now in a huge awakening across the planet.
Yeah.
It's this, and we're going into this new age of Aquarius. I believe it's going from, and I want to speak this because I'm excited to hear your perspective, is we're going from seeing God as external and this divinity outside of us and above into we are all gods and goddesses of our own creation, and we're all in unity and wholeness. And I think that's the transition that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And the world is chaotic as beep right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's dismantling, and the dismantle needs to happen. And we're moving into a new world. And I know that you have had some downloads about that. And we talk about everything taboo here. So if you want to share anything that has been a download of what is becoming right now, I would love to hear it.
Ooh, she wants the juice. All right. You know the right questions to ask, girl. These are juicy deeds that many do not have the privilege of hearing. So I would be happy to share. Thank
Whatever
you
you're
for asking.
comfortable with.
I'm really am an open book, and I love a wonderful invitation, and I'd love to open this invitation. So I absolutely agree with everything you just shared. I do believe that the second coming of Christ is the second coming of Christ consciousness. And the best part is it's already here right now. And what I've been saying the last week at Lightning in a Bottle, I just went to EDC and Lightning in a Bottle, and I just moved out of Hawaii only 3 weeks ago. So we really went cocoon to like full bloom in a weekend. And now we're like sending it. But at Lightning in a Bottle, I was saying to my sister Alea, my dear sister Alea and Jade, I was saying, baby girls, don't you even worry. We're just in a popcorn bag, and we just got put in the cosmic wave, and we're all popping. And we're all going to pop at different times, but we're all going to pop. And you know what? Some kernels might get a little burnt. And you know what? There's going to be some kernels left in the bag. Personally, my favorite are the half pops. I like those ones. My mom, she eats the puff and throws away the crunchy. It's so funny. She's like a squirrel. But like, we're just popcorn, and we're all going to pop. It's no pressure. It's no stress. The sun is sunning. Like, the sun is going through cosmic flares that we haven't experienced since the 80s. That was 40 plus years ago. And the sun is so potent right now that it is cosmically upgrading the light source of the earth. And so the visions that I've had for years now, and at first, the first one I saw was actually visiting Ruby on spring break when I was in college. And I just walked outside. We were making smoothies. And all of a sudden, I like had a vision of the earth splitting into two. And I was just like, wait, sorry, what? Excuse me? And it's been trickling in slowly information for years now. And just the last few weeks, it really solidified and clarified for what it means to me and what I feel that is intuitively happening. And this might sound a little out there, but
we're out there on this
we're
show.
out there.
It's a very taboo show.
Awesome.
So you can go out there.
I don't share anything that I haven't felt and seen for myself. My truth and my knowing comes from experience. Like, I have lived my life. I have traveled the world. I have lost it all over and over and over again, and I have rebuilt. And through that process, I've built my dream life. And with that, I've learned to trust the visions, and I've learned to trust the intuition, because that is the vehicle that allows the divine to unfold before you. So I do believe that the earth has been going through, and humanity has been going through, you could call it an exaltation, where the density is getting denser and the light is getting lighter. You can imagine two ends of the pendulum, two sides of the pole. One of them has gotten, for the goal is always cosmic order, cosmic balance. And if you think of yin and yang, the black and the white and the black. The earth, some people on this earth have been holding down very deep prayer and ritual for the density and for the lack and taking advantage of the greater population so that they can capitalize on it. They've taken a meter, they've taken energy and sold it back to us. They've taken our infinite birthright of God and light and sun. We are the sun. Sun is life. The plants absorb the sun. Like, we are energy. The energy is abundant. But they've sold it back to us and they're capitalizing on it and telling us that we need to pay for our water, pay for our home, our shelter, and pay for our energy. And they've really held a deep prayer and they've done a really good job, so much so that they have solidified the density really, really well. Think of a diamond solidifying. A diamond is just carbon under pressure. The carbon, the density is dense, so much so that the other end of the pendulum is our community. We've been holding very deep and very intentional prayer and ritual for the enlightenment and for heaven on earth and for the awakening. And because of that, we have been enlightening. We've been filling with light. We've been filling with love. We've been letting go of our density. We've been cleansing all that no longer serves us and elevating. And so over the last few weeks, I've felt it. I've seen it. I opened my eyes at EDC and it was like looking through new eyeballs. Everything was different. And I swear to you, Rose, everyone was like instantly 1,000 times hotter. Like, I cannot believe how gorgeous every single angel I'm looking at with my eyeballs every single day, everywhere I'm going right now. Like, life is good, guys. People are gorgeous and the vibes are pure heaven. And it's happened the last 2 weeks. And so what I believe has happened is that we finally reached that point of absoluteness where the density has solidified and the light has exalted. And I do believe we are now existing in a new timeline, on a new dimension as heaven on earth. And I believe that there is another timeline that we are not experiencing, that other people chose a different timeline and they are in a different dimension. And I think it's just going to be a completely new world from here on out. And if you're hearing this, then I have to congratulate you because you're in heaven. Welcome to heaven. If I'm here, you're here. So congratulations, baby. Let's go.
Well, it's interesting. So I've been really following the path of Venus lately.
Amazing.
And she was retrograde between the full moon eclipse and the solar eclipse. She went retrograde.
The full moon eclipse and the solar eclipse?
Yeah, she was retrograde.
She's so on time.
And what I found out later, which is so interesting because there's a new place across the street with the same name, but it was during that is what they would call as the underworld journey. It's where we especially when she's going eclipse.
Inanna.
Yeah, Inanna and the underworld.
Whoa.
And the going into that portal, and I just went through it like massively with my spine flared up.
Oh,
For the worst it has in 3 years.
Whoa.
And I couldn't walk and my whole nervous
During
system.
Venus retrograde? Of course.
Like a day after the full moon eclipse.
Wow.
And I went through this huge initiation and I was just on my knees in prayer in front of my altar asking Mary Magdalene for help. I pray to her a lot and I got everything I needed came to me. You know, that's as it does when we believe and trust and pray and surrender. Really, it's
Yes.
And it was interesting. So Venus it became the morning star today.
Wow.
And I want to say Friday, I felt like a massive shift in the frequency of the planet.
Did you pop?
Yeah, it was a pop moment. It was a pop moment.
Yes.
And I looked at myself in the face in the mirror and I looked like I had it was different.
Girl, you look different to me.
Yeah.
You literally look different.
I transmuted
Yes.
and transformed and transitioned.
You're looking good. Let me tell.
36, baby.
Got it. Babe, you look like younger and hotter than I've ever seen you.
I'm aging backwards.
You really are. Like upward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like backwards and upwards and all of which ways. But
And-
like best way.
So I feel like this is happening on the planet. And I think that we're either choosing to program on what's not working or we're choosing to program on what is working. And that's what you and I are very good at doing
Yeah.
is focusing and transitioning our attention on the beauty
Yeah.
and magnetizing that. And I love that what you're saying. And it's so interesting because that split that you were talking about, the two worlds, I actually saw it the first time in physical form when I went to a Burning Man with your sister the first time in 2013.
You can't see, but my jaw's on the floor.
It was such an interesting moment because it was just like a very physical human experience of the split.
Wow.
I was in Walmart in Reno, like the Walmart,
Oh my
like
gosh,
the
I can't
last
even-
Walmart going to Burning Man. And like they stock everything for Burning Man. And I'm there with
Wow.
Ruby and Roxanne. This is 2013.
Oh.
Core G
My gosh.
Burning Man experiences.
I was still
We're
in
babies.
high school.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was walking around it and there was the burners there. And a lot of those of you who don't know about Burning Man, like a lot of the people that go to Burning Man are very beautiful and radiant and on this magical path of life. Like to be initiated into Burning Man,
This will be my first year.
you have to really.
Can you believe that?
You haven't been?
No.
Oh,
Can you
my
believe?
goddess. What?
I
At the front door.
Girl, trust me. I know. I honestly wanted to go so bad. 4 years ago, I just gave up.
Wow.
And I've just been waiting for the golden ticket. I'm like not going until it is the golden
Are you
ticket.
DJing?
It's happening this year. I'm so grateful.
Yeah. I was walking around Walmart and I saw people
Yeah.
that lived in Reno and they're like the local people that would go into shopping at Walmart and they were overweight and their faces were gray and there wasn't any joy in their nervous systems. And then I saw all the people that were like all fit and ready to go. And I'm not saying that like overweight people is a negative thing. I'm not body shaming in this. It's just a frequency energy. And I do believe in taking care of our body as our vessel. It's a huge, huge philosophy of mine. And I practice more than anything else.
Yeah.
But I just saw like this vibrant, high vibe, glowing joy, skin glowing, light, eyes lit up. And I saw these people with dullness in their eyes and just they felt heavy and dense. And I literally remember sitting there and I just stopped and looked around and I said, oh, the planet's splitting into two.
Whoa.
Got it. Understood.
And that was 2013.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What is happening, what you're sharing, like you're not the only one saying that.
I know. That's what's tripped me out is I just saw it and I was like, wait, what? And then I told Ruby and then she told me that Roxy's had similar visions and then you and then all of these other people. I've heard it since then. And I still never understood it until the last few weeks. And now I'm like, okay, cool, got it.
Yeah. We're all we're all remembering what we already know.
And the remembering is happening. Like we're up leveling very quickly right now. And it's been very graceful in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had an up level with the word and a name Venus. Would you like to come out of the closet right now?
Oh my goddess. Okay, sure. Yes, Rose. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so this is a pretty epic story, and it has to do with the Magdalene. Imagine that. All of us Rose priestesses are walking the path, and we are loving. So at Lightning in a Bottle this last weekend, there's this incredible woman. Her name is Mary. She was actually confirmed as Mary as a child. And she was so cute. She spoke at Lightning in a Bottle at the lighthouse. And she spoke on Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and the Virgin Mary. And yeah, she was incredible. It was absolutely soul awakening. And I definitely cried and laughed. And it's just heaven. It's pure vibes. The field that this woman's capable of holding, I've actually never witnessed anywhere else. It was incredible. She had her arms up. Almost like you're just like enjoying rain falling on you lightly. And she was holding a field around her that I swear must have been at least 30 yards around her in diameter. And it felt like a cosmic bath. The moment I didn't even turn the corner yet and I could feel it. It was like I instantly just got this like potent, soothing, peaceful, loving vibration all throughout my vessel, like a bath. And I turned the corner and Mary's sitting there with tapped in. And I was like, whoa, this woman is a powerhouse. So she speaks on Mary Magdalene and all of the Marys and shares her story. And after I'm talking to Isis, one of our dear sisters and teachers and elders and And she's everything and everything and everything and more.
And she also helps to produce lightning in a bottle.
And she helps produce lightning in a bottle. And she also helps produce heaven on earth. So that's cool too. And so I was like, I went up to her after and we're sitting there and she's like, how was that for you? And I was just like, whoa, of course. Like I started talking to her and she goes, no, go to Mary, go now. It's like, she's a person, go now. I was like, okay, yes, ma'am. So I go up to Mary and we're talking about the path of the Magdalene. And she asks me my name. She's, what's your name, sweetie? I'm like, my name's Mia Phoenixx. She's like, Mia Venus? I'm like, no, Mia Phoenixx. And she's, no, honey, it's Mia Venus. And I'm like, I literally took a step back and just bowed down. I
I'm
said,
getting goosebumps
yes,
right
Mary.
now. I have goosebumps all over my legs.
And funny enough, I don't know if you remember this, when I was named Phoenixx and the Phoenixx dropped into me was 2019. Ruby named me. I don't know if you knew that.
Where was this?
Lightning in a bottle.
Okay.
So then here we are 6 years later, and Mary names me again, Mia Venus, at Lightning in a Bottle, which is nice because the Phoenixx energy is a force to be reckoned with. If you could imagine it, whatever you imagine Phoenixx to be, and then make it super, super dramatic and fabulous, it's that.
Well, it's a bird that's coming out of the ashes and the flame and shining its light and its beauty, but it's coming from flame and chaos.
It's coming from flame and destruction.
Yeah.
And the chaos, the flame, it's been really fascinating because my experience of the Phoenixx has been, I guess what you could say is very intentional, but somewhat passive. I don't often have to say or do anything. I just kind of show up and it all happens. I just feel like, in a sense, I've been a walking flame that has been igniting people's flammability. And whatever is flammable then burns away. And whatever is that diamond, that truth, is left, and then it's radiant and shining, and it's actually cleansed and free to shine. However, the medicine of the Phoenixx is really intense, and it can destroy cosmic universes. And it has. And it's been pretty magical. It's been extraordinarily, divinely magical, and also really intense. So I'm very grateful that Mary has now gifted me with a new name, Mia Venus, so that I can keep the Phoenixx in my pocket and pull her out when we really want her and need her, and it's the perfect medicine. And then the rest of the time, I can just be a vibey goddess, Mia Venus.
The Venus is the path of the rose.
Tell me everything. I'm so excited.
So the path of the rose is the rose path. And as I just said, and you've been at the rose ritual, which is beautiful and absolutely divine. And also, one of the things that the rose ritual has left out, which is what a lot of people forget when they think about roses, is a lot of times we think about the beauty and the smells and the gorgeous softness of the rose petal and the gorgeous yoni aspect of it and how beautiful it is. And it has thorns.
Girl, I would love to speak on that when you're complete. This is about to get really good.
Yeah, and that is something Roxanne was saying yesterday. We had a training on Mary Magdalene and remembering her story. And she said, this is actually something I learned in my first rose ritual 3 years ago when we were doing their ritual. And for those of you who are listening, the rose ritual is at Lightning in a Bottle, and they have 100 pounds of rose petals.
130.
130 this year?
Yes.
This man named Micah had a download in the Egyptian pyramids that he was supposed to be in devotion to the rose, and he grows the most beautiful roses.
And they smell like heaven's perfume.
Yeah. And it's literally, they like bury people in roses.
We did.
Yeah.
We buried the masculine.
Yeah. We did that two years ago as well.
Yeah.
And one of the things, one of the women who was putting on their ceremony said, is it a rose bush with thorns or a thorn bush with roses?
Oh.
And I really tapped into that majorly last night. I went out to Project Heartshine. I had Dakota and Hannah on recently, and we were talking about that. And some energy needed to be moved through, and people showed up. And I brought out my rose thorn. I had a beautiful rose hat on my head, and I was having everyone smell the rose. And the point I'm trying to make, to bring it around, and then I'll have you share, is I believe the path of the Magdalene and the path of Venus and the path of the Rose is a fierce softness. And that when we go into the feminine journey and we get to remember to be clear, to be fierce, but also to be soft and kind and potent with that. And we don't get it. It's not working for us as women to go into the masculine and try to control the outcome. And
no, yes, absolutely.
You and I both
wow,
are so good at inspiring men through adoration and through inspiration. And as you tap into this Venus path, and as you go through this initiation of your Saturn return and become, because you're becoming right now, you are, I see it.
Oh, thank you.
The thorns are important.
Oh yeah, they're there for sure.
And it's remember to use the petals and the thorns at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, babe, that was so beautiful. I really like that metaphor. And it's true. And in my journey, I've really learned that a lot of people have not respected the thorn. And I have been blessed to whittle down to quality, not quantity. And it's been a process of falling in love with myself and not needing them to. It's not about them and my rose. It's about the rose. And so I would love to speak on what you were just saying with the rose ceremony that we just had. Fun fact about all this. I'm so excited I get to share this with you on this talk because I was so excited to tell you the story. I didn't even think about it until we're talking about it. Okay, so this is hilarious. Okay, so it's Friday. I believe the ceremony was on Friday. Mary had talked that day. She named me Venus that day. And that night, I'm helping throw the rose ceremony. And my job at Lightning in a Bottle this year was to be a rose priestess. And I was dressed like a pink rose. And I was just fluffing roses and sprinkling roses and rolling around in roses and putting roses on people and then smelling roses. And then that was literally my job all weekend. I was just putting roses on everyone everywhere. And it was the best job I've ever had. And so it was hilarious, though, because she names me Venus, and it's so cute, and it's the goddess of love and pleasure. I'm a Taurus, like I am like the snuggliest, most pleasure, mellow girl ever. And Venus is like a gaseous, hot planet, okay? So what I'm speaking to right now is that we are the living prayer. We are the living ritual. What we were hosting in the ritual was we buried this beautiful man under 130 pounds of rose petals, and we initiated a soul collection of our missing pieces, a soul reclamation, and then a death and a rebirth. And we resurrected the masculine by the divine feminines and the crones. We had the grandmothers do this. So that was the play. However, my personal experience, I'm dressed like a rose. Let me just say, this was like a thriving moment for me. I was really at like my peak as far as like perfect costumes for my essence go. So I was like really living my best life. So cute. Everyone's, oh my gosh, this is so precious. Haha, so cute, so cute, 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 cute. Okay. I was almost passing out. I was so hot, Rose, that I was literally almost passing out. I had two psychics with their hands on my legs, one on one side, one on the other. They're pouring water in my mouth, and I'm trying to make this cute, okay? I'm trying to make it look like I'm just like being a character. I'm acting like I'm like a little like pollen drunk. I'm a bee. I'm a little pollen drunk on the roses. I'm just like blissful and giggling and playing with roses, and I'm like low-key breathing very deeply so that I don't fall over and pass out in front of everyone in the middle of this prayer performance.
Do you know what this sounds like?
Like living rich. What?
It sounds like that transition from the Phoenixx to the rose, because you were hot and you're in the fire and then you're also in the rose, and it's this like transmutation.
So Micah said the rose, he called it the scent of resurrection. So during it, we'd already buried our beautiful brother, and the like pinnacle of my almost passing outness.
Literally, when I saw photos, and I just want to explain to those listening, they put him inside of a canoe, right?
Yes.
And then covered his whole body with 130 pounds of rose petals. So this He was literally buried
He was literally
in roses.
baking under rose petals. The only thing showing was the small of his face, period.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. But so we're like in the heat of it, and they're talking about Venus even. They're like, okay, we're going on the path of the Venus, and they're talking about Venus being hot, and they're like, Venus is this, Venus is that, and she's hot, she's so hot. And I literally almost had to yell out, please, for the love of goddess, please stop talking about how hot she is. But I was like, I get it, but come on, can we talk about ice? Can we talk about snow? Give me a break.
So there was a moment in my self-pleasure journey where I had to get radically honest with myself. I had to stop touching myself in the way that, honestly, if somebody else touched me like that, I'd be so freaking annoyed. Too fast, too rough, definitely too disconnected. And I realized I had been bypassing me. The crystal wands and dildos from Yoni Pleasure Palace became a part of my sacred turning point. These tools invited me to slow down, to soften, and to make love to myself. Instead of just going through the motions, I got to de-armor the numbness, the pain, the tension in my vagina. And what I found underneath? Presence, pleasure, deep devotional connection to my own body. These aren't just toys. They're healing allies. And they're nothing like plastic. The energy, the weight, the intention, it's a completely different experience that awakens something ancient and sacred within me. And it can do this for you too. My orgasms are deeper, my body feels alive, and my relationship with my own pleasure, it's completely transformed. So if you're ready to reclaim your sensuality in the most beautiful embodied way, I invite you to explore them for yourself. Visit yonipleasurepalace.com and use the code Rose Heartsong, ROSEHEARTSONG, at checkout for 10% off your first order. Your body is sacred. Your pleasure is your birthright. Treat yourself like the divine lover you are. Now let's get back to that episode.
So anyway, we have this moment where I literally am like, okay, I'm going to make this the most cute, graceful, almost pass out anyone's never seen. So I pretend like I am praying, and I am sitting on like cross-legged, like cute little, like a dancer sitting on the roses. And I like bow down to the roses, and I lay my whole body on top of the roses. But I like literally, Rose, it's because I'm done. I could not.
I love how you're talking about the roses and then saying my name.
That's so true. I didn't even realize.
You manifested me into your life after the rose ceremony.
Gosh, of course. Oh my goddess, of course. I want to actually manifest you in my life all the time. So
Perfect.
This is really convenient.
I know.
So I'm laying in the roses, and I'm literally face in the roses, body to the roses, and I'm just breathing as deeply as I can and praying like, God, give me strength. Thank you, Mother Mary, for giving me strength. And I'm just in my own living ritual. By the end of the ritual, I was nice and cool. I had been reborn. And then I went on to have, oh my gosh, okay. Do you want to hear the craziest story that's ever happened to me? Yes. Great. Here it is. So I leave the rose ritual. Okay. I am reborn. I'd literally just been burned to the crisp within my soul for 5 hours.
I let go of the Phoenixx.
Oh,
This is you went through that initiation in the ritual. So
yes.
they were doing a ritual theater, a ritual performance, which is a living embodiment. For those of you who don't know, ritual theater is coming back. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years. There's a reawakening happening right now. Thank Goddess for Isis Indria for bringing it back, and Roxanne Ruby and all the beautiful sisters in her life. But it's the foundation of theater. What theater is now started from ritual theater, and it's a living prayer through performance in experience. So they have a prayer. What is the prayer that you want to see the world turn into and transmute into? And then they perform it on stage in some sort of way, being the embodiment of that. And it sounds like you went through your own inner ritual inside of the rose ritual of becoming Venus and going from the Phoenixx into the initiation of the Venus and into the rose path.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's true. And it's the next iteration. And the only thing I would say is that I'm not letting go of the Phoenixx.
Okay, sorry.
I am a Phoenixx. Yeah. Like I can't let that go, that it just is. However, I can integrate her so deeply within the essence of my soul that she's crystallized into pure peace and safety so that she can be honored in the right moments and really shine her brightest light. And she doesn't need to burn everything down because she has the room when she needs it. She has the space when she needs it. And she has a voice when she wants to be heard and when she would like to be heard, when we would like to hear her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like in the next level of a mature relationship with a really powerful archetype within myself.
Yeah.
That is a living archetype within all of us. And it's just also very strong within me. But I'm just a mirror to reflect that and remind that within everyone else because we all are one, period. So then the craziest.
We have to go in the craziest story, but I do want you to know that time is really.
Okay, amazing. How much
10
time do I have? 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, the best story I've never heard yet in 10 minutes.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Or less.
Or less. Amazing. Let's see if I can do it in 555. Okay, guys. So I leave the rose ceremony. I just been reborn, integrating the Phoenixx, stepping into Venus. I go to Jamie XX. I just found Jamie XX. If you guys don't know who this artist is, he's from the band The XX. You probably know the song Intro. I would argue it's one of the most famous songs of my lifetime. Everyone knows it. Everyone loves it. Every single time it comes on, it's a hit. If you're ever driving and that song comes on, it's like the best moment ever. So definitely check it out. Anyway, they stopped making music like a long time ago. And I didn't realize that the male counterpart of the duo went on to create a solo project called Jamie XX. I'm a DJ. Music is my greatest passion, and it's frequency and energy. It's everything. And I did not know he existed until a few months ago, and it changed everything. And it's just like the music I've been waiting my entire life for. And then all of a sudden I go to Lightning in a Bottle, don't even look at the lineup. I go every year, and all of a sudden Jamie XX is headlining. So I complete the rose ceremony and go straight to Jamie XX. I get there right as it's starting. I go very front row. I ditch everyone. I go, hey, I love you. This is my moment. I go very, very front row. I'm at the bar, like just slightly to the left, maybe 5 people to the left of center at the bar front row, holding down the front row. This is like where I lived at Lightning in a Bottle this year, either on stage, dancing backstage, or like front row. Like I'm there for the music. I did not take videos. I did not take pictures. I was ferally there for the music. So anyway, I'm vibing. I'm tapped in. I'm in my God mode. I am like in heaven. I've been on this high vibe. I've been like channeling. I've been working through this prayer, but all of this. Jamie, God mode. Jamie is a master. Jamie is God. I was like literally seeing God. Anyway, he's vibing. I'm vibing. It felt like he took us on 3 journeys. It felt like the first journey, he loaded us on the rocket ship. The second journey, he blasted us out of the matrix and we cruised through the cosmos. The third journey, he just was like, just still blasting us through the cosmos. It was the third journey I was like exhausted. So I was like, dude, stop playing bangers, please. I cannot dance any harder. So I was really exhausted and mad at him by the end because it was so good. I just was completely obliterated and had no energy by the end.
After your 5 hours of
Yes, exactly. So get this. So we complete the first phase is what I would say. We load the rocket ship. And this is all like energetically intuitive. I'm just feeling it. And I can feel us break through the next level. I turn around to everyone around me. I go, buckle up, guys. It's about to get taken to the whole other level. Like we just unlocked the next level. It's about to get so crazy. Just wait. I turn around. Jamie starts playing an incredible song immediately. And I'm like Phoenixx mode. Phoenixx is integrated, but she's there and ready to go whenever. I have never said this. I said this. I go, light it up, light it up, light it up, light it up. I'm like singing and chanting mantra over the whole weekend to the songs, like even just prayer to myself. But I'm like screaming this with Jamie. I'm like, light it up, light it up, light it up. 10 minutes later, the guy directly to my right almost died. He has a seizure and starts falling down on me.
Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
He was the initiate. He chose subconsciously, spiritually, in some realm to be the initiate, to be the lightning, to be struck by lightning. So it's him and I find out later that it's actually his ex-wife, but they just can't keep themselves away from each other. It's so cute. So I find out later, but so they're holding each other. She's holding him. I've had seizures myself, and I also stepsister has seizures. I've just had a few, like, from coming off of wisdom teeth and, like, mostly just being dehydrated. But I have had experience, especially with spiritual seizures. Remember, I had one. I passed out at ceremony with you, and I fell on the altar.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just felt like it was like I was an angel in this moment, in the right place, right time as well. And we all were. So there's 4 security guards on his body. One in front, one on the side, one on the other side, one on the back. I'm behind him, hands on his back. His wife is holding him, and I'm pouring water in his mouth, and I'm slapping the everything out of his back and screaming prayer over him, Rose. Like, I am not kidding you. And just so you know, like, I had a moment where all of a sudden I checked in and realized what I was doing. My human, like, woke up and was like, oh my goodness, like, this man's having a seizure front row at a concert, and I'm slapping him and screaming at him. I was like, this is not it. But I was tapped in, and I jumped back and I look at the security guards because I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? My human was like, whoa. And I looked at everyone, and they all look at me, and they just nod, and they're like, uh-huh. And I'm like, okay. So I go back, and so I'm slapping his back, and I'm screaming. I'm going, you will not die. You will
Whoa.
are not dying. You are infinite. You are God. You are love. You are light. You have got this. You will not die here tonight. You are infinite. You are God. And I'm screaming prayer at this man, and I'm slapping his back, and I'm slapping his heart, and I'm holding him, and I'm pouring water in his mouth, and I'm screaming and commanding God into this man's body. It was about a 30-minute process of him going down and then coming back up. But also, if you look at it of the other way of going up and then coming back down. So this man was...
He's okay?
Yeah, he almost died. Like, my hands were on his body. This man was... And I was... So here's the funny thing, too, is I was really had to be very intentional with what I say. Because this man is in a very liminal space where his body is... Because here's what was happening. We were breaking out of the matrix, and out of that, if you think of it like a glass ceiling.
We're doing that right now.
We are.
Like, that's the split that we're talking about.
Exactly.
And it's this program that we've been living under for a very long time that isn't serving us any longer. And we need to transition and transmute and transform it. And it needs to happen now. And we get to do it as a collective consciousness. Yeah. And it's really potent, and it's It's really, really now.
It's already happened.
It is.
We're just catching up.
Yeah.
So this man, like, anyway, I do want to point to this as well. Jamie really held it down. So what was happening? We were breaking out the matrix, like you're saying, and his density didn't know if it could make it. Like, his density was like getting stuck on that glass ceiling, but his soul wanted to expand.
The guy that you're talking about,
And so, like, his density almost couldn't break through that barrier. But, like, with all of our collective prayer, and there were like 30 people around us all like holding space for this man, the angels in the field were like, that man was either gonna walk out of there or get taken out on a body bag. And that would not be the vibe. No brother left behind. So we all prayed, we all held it down. This man waltzed out of there. I talked to him the next day, and I asked him, and we're talking about it, and he was like, honestly, I don't even know what happened. And neither did she, because turns out she was like going through a super like cosmic experience in that too. She was like right there with him, like in it, because they were the divine masculine and feminine receiving the lightning at the same moment. So I filled them in on what happened. And I was like, he kind of like didn't realize how close he was to being gone. And she even said, I just knew in that moment, if he was going out, then he was going out doing what he loved. That was where it was at. And I asked him, I said, what happened? What do you remember? He said, all I remember is someone's voice. And I followed that voice, and I heard that voice. I didn't hear anything. And then all of a sudden I heard a voice, some girl, and I could hear a voice, and it slowly brought me back, and it slowly brought me back. And then all of a sudden I was back in my body. And then I said, I'm here. And I was like, hi, sir. Nice to meet you. I was that voice. That was right after JBXX. And then
amazing.
So this man waltzed out, and then it was just like pure heaven. And this man is like reborn. So that was like a really epic initiation of the lighting of the popcorn. So in my opinion, that was the cosmic wave that popped the popcorn. And like, y'all are already there. We are in heaven here now. Congratulations. Be kind to yourself. Have grace. We are here now. Just settle in, surrender, and enjoy, because you are here now and you've made it.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the things I want to like touch on as we close up is there's this the book, The Isaiah Effect. Have you read the book, The Isaiah Effect by Greg Braden? So the book of Isaiah was discovered in the Nag Hammadi collection, and it was the first full collection of the book of Isaiah. And it is a codex. It's a treasure map.
Ooh.
Basically, it's a specific technology that predicts the future.
What?
Yeah, and they've used the technology to like pinpoint very specific moments to like when one of the presidents of Israel was murdered. It knew like the date, the time, the street, the person who was going to kill him, everything. And the interesting thing about the Isaiah effect, and the reason I'm bringing this forward right now, is that he talks about in that book is what the book of Isaiah talks about is we're at a time in history right now that the stories that we tell ourselves is the reality that gets created.
Exactly.
And so when we look at the news and we look at all the fear and I don't think we should be ignorant of it. There's a balance that happens, but when we let our nervous systems get pulled into that frequency and we emotionally get impacted by it, then we create it and craft that frequency.
Heaven, like for me, you're like exactly, and just like, so simple and so small. Like it's not that what's hot. Like actually, everything when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. But also, it's not that life's always perfect. It's that I trust in it. It's that I'm like, okay, even though this moment right here might not be my favorite, this isn't the end moment. It's leading me somewhere new. I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe it didn't feel good to get rejected, but I'm getting redirected. Let me just flow with it, and then it always is a blessing. The less you're attached to that moment and you just trust the better blessing that's coming around the corner, it's always there. Yeah. Because it is if you decide it.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right.
The magic is always an option.
It's just an option. You're totally right.
And there's a lot of ways in which to tap into it and different technologies and prayer. Prayer is my favorite. Jumping in the ocean, being in nature, connecting with community and sisterhood and dancing and everything. And I'm really sad to say that we're going to have to start closing this conversation, even though it was really good. But I wanted to communicate because we talked a lot about Venus. Yeah, I did want to mention that Venus is the archetype of Venus. And we were sharing this with our Magdalene workshop, is love. It represents love. And it governs romance, erotic energy, platonic, and divine love.
Ooh, I like that.
She teaches us about relational harmony, heart-led connections, and the art of loving without losing oneself, which is really important. And she also reminds us that love isn't a weakness, but it's actually the most magnetic force of creation.
Oh, gorgeous.
And she's the muse. She's not about chasing. She's about attracting.
Yes.
She is sovereign in her softness. That's the rose and the thorn, right? Yeah. The sovereignness. She's the magnetic force of yin. And she is radiant. She is fertile. She knows that power is not in push, but it is in the pull.
Wow.
So this morning star, she became the morning star this morning. We can see her in the morning. And she's been in the underworld for a while, so she's back. She's back, babe. She's back. And you're back.
We back, baby. And she's hot.
She is hot. So Miss Mia Phoenixx / Mia Venus, where can people find your music? And by the way, we're gonna end the episode as soon as we say goodnight. We're gonna put your song on. Where can people find you? What kind of medicine do you want to share with the people to get more curious about the magic you're creating?
Yeah, amazing. My Instagram is my hub. You can definitely find all of my links in my link in my bio. Mia Phoenixx. It's MIAPHEONIXX. And SoundCloud, I just dropped a really epic mix just 3 days ago. I stayed at Lightning in a Bottle for 3 extra days and just vibed and recorded like 9 hours of DJing. So check that out. Just dropped a new song 2 weeks ago on Monday on my birthday. If you check out any music platform, Mia Phoenixx, I'll be dropping new songs every single month and just YOLO dropping them. So just keep up and have fun. We're just here to create art. I don't care. It's just art, baby. Let's have fun.
Thank you, Laguna Beach. Thank you, KXFM, Laguna's Community Radio, for everyone behind the scenes. You have been listening to Follow Your Heartsong with Rose Heartsong. We talk about the taboo. It was a beautiful night to have you. We love you. I love you, Mia. I'm so excited to have a slumber party with you. Thanks for being on this amazing chat with me tonight, and I can't wait to continue with the music and much
pleasure. I love you all.
You felt that, didn't you? Let it sink in, take what you need, leave the rest, and always trust yourself. If this spoke to you, please follow, like, and share. It helps the message reach those who need it. Stay wild, stay free, and keep following